I work in a mid-sized company. Nothing fancy, nothing terrible. Just one of those places where people stay longer than they planned because it's stable and familiar. I've been there for about 6 years. Long enough to know how things really work, not just how they're supposed to work on paper. I'm not a manager, but I'm senior enough that people come to me when something is confusing or broken. I know the systems, I know the shortcuts, and I know which rules are flexible and which ones absolutely are not. That detail matters. About a year ago, our team was put under pressure to deliver a project faster than the timeline realistically allowed. Management didn't say cut corners, but they didn't exactly discourage it either. The message was basically, figure it out. So people did. Small compromises at first, skipping certain checks, assuming things would be fine because they usually were. I didn't love it, but I went along with it. I told myself it wasn't my call, and if leadership wanted it done this way, they understood the risk. Eventually, the project went live, and for a while, everything seemed fine. Then a serious issue came up. Not catastrophic, but big enough that it caught attention above our department, something that clearly shouldn't have made it through review. Suddenly there were meetings, emails marked urgent, people using phrases like accountability and process failure. That's when things got uncomfortable. Our manager pulled me aside privately. He said they were going to need someone to own the mistake, not because they thought I personally caused it, but because, in his words, I was the most senior person close to the work, and I could handle the heat. He explained it calmly, like it was a practical decision. If I took responsibility, the team would be protected. The manager would take minimal damage. Leadership would feel the issue was addressed. He said it probably wouldn't cost me my job. Maybe just a formal warning. Maybe a stalled promotion. He framed it as a team-first move. Then he said something that stuck with me. He said, if this goes higher, they'll start digging, and that won't be good for anyone. I asked him directly if he thought I was at fault. He hesitated, then said, not entirely, but you were involved. Which was technically true. I didn't create the problem. But I didn't stop it either. I went home that day feeling sick. On one hand, I understood the logic. Workplaces run on unspoken agreements like this all the time. Someone takes the hit. Everyone moves on. On the other hand, I couldn't shake the feeling that once I accepted responsibility for something like this, it would follow me forever. A warning becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes a reputation. I also couldn't ignore the fact that the people asking me to take the blame would be fine no matter what happened. They'd keep their roles, their bonuses, their future options. I'd be the one explaining this in every performance review. I talked to a few coworkers, carefully. Not directly, but enough to gauge reactions. Some of them said things like, "It sucks, but that's how it works." Or, "You're better positioned to survive it than the rest of us." One person thanked me in advance for stepping up, even though I hadn't agreed to anything yet. That made me angry in a way I didn't expect. I realized people were already assuming I'd say yes, that my sense of responsibility would override my self-interest. The next meeting with management was the breaking point. They presented the issue as if the cause was unclear, but the solution obvious. Someone needed to be named. I was asked in front of others if I was willing to take ownership. I didn't plan what I said. It just came out. I said no. I said I was part of the process, but not the decision-making. I said the shortcuts were encouraged by timelines set above us. And I said if accountability was being assigned, it should reflect that reality. The room went quiet. After the meeting, my manager was furious. He said I'd embarrassed him, that I'd broken trust, that I didn't understand how much damage this could cause. He said leadership might now scrutinize everything, which they did. The fallout wasn't immediate, but it was real. My manager's relationship with me changed overnight. I was excluded from certain conversations. Feedback became colder, more formal. Some coworkers avoided me. Others were quietly supportive, but clearly relieved it wasn't them. Leadership eventually concluded the issue was systemic, not individual. No one was formally punished, but nothing went back to how it was before. I didn't get the promotion I was up for. It was framed as timing, but I'm not naive. I also didn't get written up, which I'm fairly sure wouldn't have been the case if I'd taken the blame. Now I'm stuck in this strange place. Part of me feels proud that I didn't accept responsibility for something that wasn't fully mine, that I didn't sacrifice myself to protect people who wouldn't do the same for me. Another part of me feels like I broke an unspoken rule, that I chose myself over the group, that I made things harder for people who trusted me. I keep wondering what the right move was. Was I supposed to quietly take the hit for the sake of the team? Is refusing to do that selfish or just realistic? In workplaces, loyalty is praised until it becomes inconvenient. So now I'm asking strangers instead. So, am I the asshole for refusing to take the blame at work, even though it would have protected everyone else?